It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. Thursday evening, November the 8th. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. My job is to help new traders earn consistent profits using a simple and reliable trading strategy. And my plan this evening is to identify the most reliable trading opportunities setting up for tomorrow's trading session. And tonight, we're covering crude oil, S&P, Nasdaq, gold, and euro. Starting off this evening, oil is bearish with a spike in channel tonight. And that tells me to look for entry patterns to sell up around the channel high tomorrow morning. The S&P is bullish with a spike in range. But after two attempts for the bulls this afternoon, I'm keeping my eyes on a possible collapse back down to those lows tomorrow. The Nasdaq is also bullish, this time with a flag pattern today, but we're starting to see signs of failure, and I've got my eyes on some bull traps for selling opportunities back down to yesterday's low. How about the gold? The yellow metal is bearish with a spike in range tonight, so my plan is to fade those bull breakouts, and I'm going to use the 2-try rule for that tomorrow morning. And of course, the euro is also bearish with an overshoot of a channel low. So of course, I'm waiting for the pendulum to swing back at the high of the channel, looking to sell an overshoot of that channel high using buyer failures on Friday morning. Boy, speaking of Friday morning, we are just about ready to wrap up what has been an incredible week of trading here. As always, got a great newsletter in store for you guys and gals tonight. We got a holiday weekend coming right around the corner. So we got a very important strategy to talk about here for you guys tonight. Before we put the plan together, though, before we open the charts and put all this stuff together here, I do want to remind you, if you're watching me this evening on YouTube, you can find a detailed description of this entire strategy written out right here on my blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. I'll leave all the links in the description of this video. Also, if you have any questions about anything covered in this video tonight, please remember you can post those questions in the comment section below. And if you like what you see, please help support this channel by subscribing. And when you do, hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I post another video. And don't forget, if your goal is to become a consistently profitable trader, you can get that transformation started by going right to our website and joining our mailing list. All I need is your name and your email address. Hit that subscribe button on the right-hand side, and I'll send you an email every time we publish something new. Also, don't forget, you can download all the charts from tonight's video. I'll put the links in the description here on YouTube. If you're on the blog right now, there's a button right below this video that will allow you to download all of those charts for tomorrow. And then don't forget, if you have any questions, I'm always here. You can call me toll free or use that live support tool in the upper right hand corner. I look forward to answering all your questions. All right, let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover here tonight. We got a holiday weekend right around the corner here. Next Monday, the markets are closed. You will see markets open on Monday. This is one of those kind of half holidays. The Veterans Day holiday is technically on Sunday. And so, of course, in the United States, they're going to make us take one day off, and the markets are going to observe on Monday. So if you go to next week, right, on the 12th, well, this won't give it to you on the global calendar, but if you look at most calendars, next Monday will be listed as a U.S. holiday, right, in the at least for the U.S. session traders, right? So be aware of that. We get a holiday weekend. Sunday is Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, we'll be celebrating you on Sunday, or any families of veterans, right? I know you guys work almost just as hard as the veterans themselves. But the bottom line is Sunday is Veterans Day. Monday is what is being observed. So Monday is a holiday for most of us in the U.S. The markets will be open on Monday, but just electronically. And what that means is you can expect a lot lower volume than normal. So tomorrow is the Friday before a holiday weekend. So what does that tell us? That tells us for tomorrow, it's probably going to be a relatively early in, early out session for tomorrow. That's Friday. And then if you plan on trading on Monday, my best advice would be get in early, and you're probably going to see about an hour and a half to 2 hours, so maybe between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock on Monday morning. Just be aware, a lot of times the markets will be moving on those holiday sessions, but the volume will be relatively low, so be very careful, right? And of course, make sure you're disciplined not to overtrade on those kind of, half holiday sessions. So tomorrow, Friday before a holiday weekend, early in, early out. We've got a couple news events tomorrow morning. We've got the GDP number from our good friends in Great Britain at 8:30. So if you trade in the London session, you got that on your radar. And of course, we got the PPI number tomorrow morning at 8:30 for all the U.S. session traders. Also, almost forgot too, we do have the CPI number coming out of China tonight in just a few hours. So if you do plan on trading the overnight, right, the overnight Asian session, be aware of that. That will definitely move things around here in the overnight. So tonight from China at 8:30, tomorrow morning in London, in Europe, right, at 4:30, and then of course with that PPI number tomorrow at 8:30, right, for the U.S. session traders. So tomorrow, early in, early out. It's a Friday. It's a Friday ahead of a holiday weekend. So careful later in the morning. You know, after 10:30, 10:45 tomorrow morning, right, Eastern time, you really got to have some good reasons to be trading. And then again, next Monday, you will see the markets. They will be open next Monday, but get to it early, right? It's one of those kind of half holidays where the markets will be technically open, but most folks in the U.S. and in turn a lot of people around the world will take that day off from trading as well. So just be on your best behavior, right, next Monday. And don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and I'll be always happy, right, to help you guys out. All right, let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover here tonight. Got a bunch of charts, right, to work with here this evening. Got the schedule for tomorrow, right, and the holiday weekend. Let's jump into some oil here. Starting off with oil, and then we'll go to the S&P, then over to the Nasdaq, right, euro, and of course gold tonight on our radar. First of all, oil is bearish with a spike in channel, possible bear wedge, and a measured move on the chart this evening. Knowing that we're bearish, I want to sell at levels of resistance. And of course, one of the easy ways to find a level of resistance is to combine these lows in a bear market, bring it up to the highs, and that will usually create a pretty rock solid level of resistance that we can use for selling opportunities tomorrow. At the same time, you can also see I've marked up the prior swings, because we have to assume whenever we see this much momentum, right, on a chart, you can assume there are going to be big lot sellers waiting here with their orders, right, to sell once we go back above, right, those swings. Now, I doubt we're going to get all the way back to that 61.59, but you want to be aware, right, those prior swings, I got my eyes on that 61.13. So we're bearish, want to sell at resistance. Where do we find resistance? The high of that channel, right? The high of that channel. That makes for a great spot. And again, that lines up nicely with that prior swing as well. So really at this point, we're trying to get some sort of pullback here before we get back down to that big round number at $60 a barrel. We got our eyes on that big round number down there. And so we definitely assume those bears are hunting for more. At the same time, that measured move, right, acts as a fantastic target for us right around that big round number at $60 a barrel. So we got direction, right? We have a general idea of location here right now, but you know, in all reality, maybe this isn't a channel. Maybe it's just a wedge. Right? Maybe it's just a wedge. If I draw that trend line down, you'll notice it really fits well for a wedge there as well. Now, what do wedges tell us? We talked about this last night, right? Wedges remind us that once we start getting into this real tight, narrow space down here, once we start getting these narrow spaces down here, now we start anticipating these deep pullbacks. So maybe it's not a channel, maybe it's a wedge. We're still looking for that same nice deep pullback here. Once we get that deep pullback, I'm going to look for those buyers to try to buy the pullback, right? See if we can get those buyers to try and reverse that trend. And if I can get them to take the bait on that, now we know where their stops are. We can sell into those stops. Then we can mark up that new channel low, new channel high, and we can sell into that channel high. I call this a 1-2 try failure pattern into a hidden channel pullback pattern. So again, trying to get up off this low, let the buyers try once, let the buyers try twice, and then we can drop it back in for a target going back down to retest that low. You can see examples of it back here, right? 1 try, 2 try, failure, pullback, and go. 1 try, 2 try, failure, pullback, and go, right? That pattern happens over and over again. So that's definitely something we're going to be waiting for tomorrow. Another pattern you want to keep an eye on, we haven't seen many of these lately, but you know the markets are always moving and shaking, so keep your eye on a trend line here. And that trend line can be used as a sell, right, as we go higher here. Now, remember, at this point, it's a bear market, right? It's a bear market. So if this thing really starts taking off here, right, then that's definitely not going to be we're looking to sell there, right? So make sure that trend line is within striking distance of the top, right, of that channel. So just got to keep your eyes on that. I don't want to get too bullish here before we start, right, and still try to sell that thing, right? So we're trying to get it up around that battle zone, get below that trend line, and use that trend line as resistance on the way back down. Now, a couple other options here you want to consider. This was one hell of a move here today on oil, so it's definitely a good idea to think about a possible range, right? Maybe we kind of tumble back down and go sideways here. If we see a sideways trading range, now we're going to look for that two-try failure pattern, that one-try, two-try failure, right? Let those buyers try once, let those buyers try twice, then we can sell going back down into that trading range. And then what if price keeps going lower, right? What if it just keeps on grinding lower here, right? Well, if it keeps grinding lower, not much changes. If we keep kind of grinding lower without getting much of a pullback, I'm still going to have my eyes on that resistance trend line overhead. And basically at this point now, we're looking for a combination of a trap into a two-try, into that hidden channel pullback, right, as we go back lower, right? It's that trap high above that prior swing, right? Trap into that 1-2 failure, right? Into that hidden channel pullback, right, as we go. So even if we do go lower here, we still want to wait patiently to sell right up above those highs. That way, because if we focus on selling above that moving average, that's where you get the most amount of profit, right? One of the biggest traps that we get into as traders is always trying to sell pullbacks at the moving average. What I find works best for me in my trading is get above the moving average, because that's when you confuse everybody, right? The buyers start thinking that they're going to take this thing, and right when the buyers buy that little dip, right, the bottom falls out of it, and it's an easy sell going right back down, right, to retest that low. So we got a pretty good plan here, right? Up, one try, two try, back down, right? Or maybe we go sideways here. If we do go sideways, stay patient. 1-2, back lower there, right? And of course, if we do kind of roll lower, it's that trap, right, into that two try, back down again. So we've covered a lot here. What about a bull market? How would the market turn bullish? The 1-2-3 reversal pattern, right? We call it the 1-2-3 reversal. It's a pretty basic pattern, looking for 1, a strong counter trend move, 2, a pullback to the moving average, and 3, a jump off that moving average. 1, 2, 3. Now be careful, because you'll notice there are lots of times where we see a strong counter trend move, and that's not a reversal. So you got to be careful here, because if the buyers try to buy that pullback and they fail, well, you know what's going to happen. Guys and gals like us are going to be selling right into those stops, try to get that move back down and retest that low. So it's got to hold that pullback, show me some strength. If we can get that strength, I'm going to mark up that high, find my new channel, and we're looking to buy off the low of that channel. Right where that high and that channel collide, that's usually the sweet spot. That's where we're looking for those buys as we go back up to retest, all the way back up around that 62.50 area if these buyers can take control. Now, again, I would be looking for a trading range tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Friday. It's a holiday weekend, right? So keep your eyes open. Maybe this ends up being a range tomorrow. Who knows? If it doesn't being a range, it's one try, two try, back down in, right? Let those buyers try once, let them try twice. So no matter what scenario we get, right, whether it be a pullback or a range, right, or we keep on bleeding lower here, we've got a great plan. Now, before I go forward over to the S&P 500, I want to stop for a second and give you a shortcut here, because if you're here for the first time today, you might be a little bit overwhelmed by all the terminology, right? The traps, the two-legged pullbacks, the failure patterns, the hidden channels. There's a lot to learn, and there definitely is quite a bit to learn as a new trader. But not not to worry. The markets might be some complicated markets sometimes, but I've got a great plan for you here. In the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to give you a free trading class. It'll give you access to our members section here at School of Trade. Log into the members section, and you'll see a great free trading course to help you get started learning all the analysis and all the entry patterns. So grab that link. You'll see that link hanging up there for the rest of the video tonight, that information icon in the upper right-hand corner. If you're on our website here at Sideways Markets right now, there's a button right below the video tonight, right? If you're on the blog at Sideways Markets, grab that, right? Follow that link below the video, grab that free course, and you'll be happy you did. That'll walk you through all my favorite patterns. That way you know exactly how to make the most of our time together every evening on this newsletter. All right, let's keep going. So crude is looking good. Now, over to the E-minis, right? Over to the E-minis here now. Get the S&P, and then we'll grab the Nasdaq. The S&P is bullish with a spike in range and a resistance trend line on the chart this evening. The bulls definitely have the momentum into the trading range today. We talked about this last night. We expected to see either a range or a flag, and that's exactly what we saw today. So with the buyers now, here's the concern though. The buyers now have tried twice. Strong move up. The buyers tried once, couldn't get the job done to retest the high, and now they're trying again. So at this point, the buyers have tried twice to retest the high. It's about do or die time right now for these bulls, right? It's going to be either fill or kill. Those buyers are trying to get back up to retest that high at 28.18. And if the bulls fail to retest the high on this recent attempt, then I have to assume now that buyers are most likely now going to give up on this, right? And we might get a nice option for selling opportunities going all the way back down to where this thing came from. I mean, this thing could really collapse at the very least, right, back down to that 66.25 area, if not even further, right, tomorrow into that holiday. So we really have potential here right now for a nice big turn in direction. We're not quite there yet. Momentum is still bullish, but we're definitely watching for that reversal right now. Or if we can see some more strength going higher here, then we can use that falling resistance now, right, to buy to finish off that retest of that high. All right, guys? Now, how do you predict a reversal? How do you predict a reversal? What does it look like to predict a reversal? Well, what I want to remind you is that predicting reversals are always very low reliability. It's very difficult to predict reversals. In fact, people go broke every day of the week in this business trying to predict reversals. But generally speaking, though, to predict a reversal, you first need to know what direction the market has control. So let's say, for example, we're bullish. Now, I like to always look for the two tries, right? So I like to look for the buyers. The buyers will try once, right? They're trying to retest that high. If they can't get it, they'll look for a lower price, and they'll try second time, try to retest that high. Keep in mind, while this is happening, this trend line's coming down. It always makes the job more difficult, right? Now, at this point, we've got one try, right? We got one try, and we have two tries here. Now, at this point, if these buyers, if they can't run back up and retest the high, what's going to happen? Yeah, they're going to give up on this. So basically, the buyers are going to grow weary of this. Meanwhile, the sellers are going to start, right? They're going to start getting greedy about this, and they're going to start wanting to sell this. Now, what oftentimes happens is you'll see this market, right? It'll tumble lower from there. But this is where it gets tough, because at this point now if you try to sell this market right now, you're selling relatively low, right? You're selling pretty low, and you're susceptible now to a pullback. So what I like to do is I like to wait for that one try, two try. Once I see that second try fail, then I know I've got my resistance levels overhead. Now what I'm watching for is A will be a trap high, right? A will be a trap high. That is always my favorite way to do it, right? Trap high, right? But if we don't get that trap high, I'm looking for at least another attempt, and I'll look for a small little buyer failure in there to sell it back down, right, into that level of resistance. So again, think about it this way. Momentum is bullish. The buyers try once. The buyers try twice. If they fail now, Don't chase after it because now you're selling low. Wait for that level. If you can, trap back down. That's the sell. Or if we don't get that, find that level of resistance. Let's go up once, twice, a little tiny inside to try, and we'll sell back down. Okay, so how do you predict the reversal? You don't. You wait for the market to try once, try twice, and then the personality of that move off the high is what's going to tell you what's going on, right? And oftentimes you'll see buyers, they'll try to buy it again, and once those buyers try to buy it again, there we go. Now we know that's what we're now looking to sell back down into that trading range. So as you can see here, strong move up, right? Buyers tried once, buyers tried twice. Now we're do or die here at this point. Do we go through so I can buy that pullback, right, to finish off that move? Or, right, do we collapse now? And if we collapse back down, now is when I'm going to be disciplined and start looking for my chance here now to sell. Usually it'll come right above that moving average, right, to sell and back down from there. I've got this falling resistance trend line we're working with, right? I've got that trend line coming down. So I've got 1, 2. If we collapse back down now, it'll oftentimes do this. I'll find that, right? I'll find that swing, trap high, selling off that high. Again, you just don't want to sell low, right? That's the thing. You don't want to sell low. So if we see this thing really collapse here, right, we don't want to sell low, we want to sell high. So we're selling traps, right? Or 2 try failure, 1, 2 failure. Okay, that will be the ideal. That's the ideal. Selling at resistance back down. Now you also want to be aware, right? This thing may just completely collapse, right? It may collapse. And that's always kind of the tough part. It's easy to want to predict these things, but it's difficult to predict when they're really going to collapse. If it does collapse lower now again, we don't sell low. I'm going to take out my trusty trend line. We'll draw off the lows, find that new channel. I'll use that trend line now as resistance, and we're looking to sell, you guessed it, up off of resistance. All right, guys? So how do you predict a reversal? You don't predict a reversal. You wait for it to turn. 1 try, 2 try. Does it collapse? If it collapses, we're looking for that new channel so I can sell off that level of resistance, right? Use that resistance to sell. Or do we see it 1 try, 2 try with that kind of stair step down? Buyers try one more time, right? We're selling into that trap, right? That trap pattern, or looking for the 1 try, 2 try failure. And again, using that level of resistance as our key component here. So you're either selling high up at that resistance trend line, or you're creating a new trend line with that new channel, right? And selling up above at that channel. All right. Now, it's also important to remember, right, if we get neither of those, right, maybe we go blasting higher here. If we do, we talked about this last night, use this as a flag, right, and we're trying to buy that pullback. The only thing you want to be careful about if you're buying that pullback is you don't want to buy into the high of that range. So remember, the objective is to get to that 28.18. So if we go through, you've got to get that before we get there. Before we get to that high. Because if we get to that high, there's no telling where it goes from there. It could keep going from there, but it also could collapse back down because it's just a range. So be careful if you're going to buy that pullback. You want to make sure you get to it before we get back up and retest that high. And then last but not least, right, if we just sit here going sideways here, well, then it's anybody's ball game, right? 1 try, 2 try, buy back up. 1 try, 2 try, sell back down with the emphasis on the buy side. So if we do hold inside of this range, right, we still have to give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers. 1 try, 2 try, it's that 2 try failure pattern, right? That 2 try failure pattern below the low of that range, right? Kind of the opposite of what we just talked about on the oil. All right, guys, don't forget, if you need any help along the way, you know where to reach me. Let's keep going. That's a plan there for the S&P tomorrow. And the Nasdaq is relatively simple. or should I say, relatively similar to the S&P. Not that simple, but relatively similar. Nasdaq is barely still bullish with a trading range and a flag on the chart this evening. The momentum is still bullish, but after now 3 attempts, right? 3 attempts here, right? And you can see what's happening, right? Strong move up, 1, 2, and then look what we see here, right? That little trap right there into that resistance trend line. That's exactly the same pattern that we were just talking about on the S&P. So the Nasdaq appears to be a couple candles ahead of the S&P right now, and it looks like the writing might be on the wall here, right, for a collapse back down tomorrow morning. Now, on the buy side here, we need to see some renewed strength, right? We're going to have to see a real strong move up and then use that to buy that pullback. And again, we want to make sure we get that before we get back up to retest that high. At this point in the game, it doesn't look likely we're going to get that. But again, it will start with a strong move higher. Once we have that strong move higher, then we look to use the top of that channel, right? That flag setup that we talked about last night on the newsletter, and we can then look for that rally, right, going higher from there. And then, of course, don't forget, right, we already have on the sell side, momentum isn't quite there yet, but with those buyers now, 1 try, 2 try, now we see that momentum shift, 3 try, right? Yeah, the writing is now on the wall. A little bit late in the day to be taking that short, right, just because it's the overnight session. But if we can get this follow through now, right, follow through, now we can mark up that low, find that new hidden channel, and we can sell off that hidden channel. The target at that point now is all the way back down at that 69.31 and change. All right, guys. So again, we got a great example here of a 2 try, 1, right, 1, 2, and then potentially here a trap into falling resistance for a collapse back down. So if we do get that collapse back down, then we know we've got the 1, 2, 3, find that new channel, and we're selling off the high of that, right, of that channel. If we do go up, make sure you don't get a retest that high, up, back, and go. Be very careful buying high up here because you know there are going to be sellers who are trying to pick a top on this market right now. Last but not least, tomorrow's a Friday before the holiday weekend, so don't forget we may go sideways if we get stuck around that range. It is still a bull market at that point, so 1 try, 2 try, that's the plan if we get stuck inside that range, 1 and 2, right? So now we know if we go higher, if we go lower, if we go range bound. Plan was pretty good. Let's keep going. Nasdaq's also to go. And don't forget, grab that free trading course in the upper right-hand corner. Grab the information icon. Follow that link below the video tonight. Right? Grab that free trading course to learn more about all these entry patterns that I'm talking about. Let's keep going. Our Nasdaq's looking pretty good there. How about some gold here? Okay, gold's a little bit different. Gold is bearish, trading range, hidden channel, and measured move on the chart this evening. The bears have the momentum at their backs right now. The wind is at their backs for the bears right now. So my goal is to sell at resistance levels tomorrow morning. And of course, I've got my eyes on 2 key components here for resistance levels. One is this range. We take the size of that range, copy and paste it up. That creates resistance. Copy and paste it down. That creates support. So once we have that range, now we know we have a level of resistance up overhead around that 12.29 even. So that's a level of resistance I got my eyes on tomorrow. At the same time here, I can also connect these lows here, right? Connect those lows. That creates kind of a channel bottom. And then I've got this little channel top up here, right? Put that midline on, and boy, does that midline fit nicely here. So that's going to be a nice level of resistance that we can use here as well. So the bears have momentum, right? The bears are in control. That's pretty obvious. With those bears in control, we want to sell. It is a range, and anytime I have a range, anytime we have a range, I always know the range is the most important thing. So I don't want to sell low. I want to sell high. And what I'm looking for is I just want to get up to a level of resistance, up around that 29, right, up around this trend line coming down. This whole area up here looks great to be a seller. I want to see price go up. Now, hopefully it goes up nice and high for us, right? What that will do is that'll give the buyers a reason to buy that breakout. We'll let those buyers try a second time. And if we can get those buyers to try twice, then, well, we can sell right into those stops for what we call a 2-try failure pattern, right? That 1 try, that 2 try, and of course that 2 try failure, we can sell back down. Now that's the easy part, right? If price goes up, we can use that two-try failure pattern. What if price keeps going lower here? Then what do we do, right? What if this thing just keeps on rolling lower? Well, if we see this thing stubbornly rolling lower here, then we know this will turn into what we call a spike and channel. Now we talked about spike and channels last night on the newsletter, and spike and channels are relatively simple. When I have a strong move down that keeps on kind of rolling lower like that, what I'll do is I'll mark up these prior highs. I'm going to wait for a move up, and that move up will set up for three possible patterns: a trap into two try into hidden channel pullback. Right? That trap pattern will be above that prior swing, right? Trap into a one try, two try failure, right? Into a hidden channel pullback, right? So if we do see that spike in channel with that kind of channel coming down, we're looking to get up above that channel and sell it back down from there, right? So we got a pretty good idea of where that channel may be. Sometimes these large, right? There you go. There's that resistance, trap, two try failure, back down we go from there, right? Trap patterns, two try failure patterns, pullback patterns. All of these patterns I talk about, again, are covered in that free trading course, and I think you'll really love that, especially if you're a brand new trader. So last but not least is, how would we turn bullish? How would this market turn bullish? Well, this would be a combination of, we would need a 1, 2, 3 breakout and a 1, 2, 3 reversal. They're pretty much the same thing. First of all, we have to see a strong move higher, right? That's going to set the table for the reversal. Now remember, right, we can't just trust a strong move up, because a lot of times that strong move up will then pull back, right? Those buyers will try, but because they're running right into resistance here right now, yeah, those buyers, their days might be numbered here, and we can sell right into those stops. You want to be really careful buying that move higher. What I want to see next is, I want to see a nice strong move up, right? That creates that 1, 2, 3 reversal. Then I'm going to mark up that high. I'm going to mark up those highs, find that channel, you guessed it, and then we're going to look for that buy, right? Coming off of that low. If we can get that buy off the low, then we know our target is back up to retest that high around that 12.30, right? 12.39 even, right? Give or take a couple ticks up there. So targets are pretty good for the buyers. Just gotta wait until we can get, right, a bullish reversal here. And right now, time will tell. So waiting on the gold here. See what we get here for tomorrow. Next up here is over on the euro, wrapping up tonight on the euro. The euro is bearish with a channel, a reversal line, and a measured move on the chart this evening. The bears have momentum, right, with an overshoot of that channel low. So I'm looking for selling opportunities up at resistance levels, and I've got my eyes on the high of this channel. We got the channel coming down here, right? We're definitely bearish, so I'm watching this channel. I'd like to sell up around the high of this channel. I'd also like to use that reversal line. That reversal line looks nice. If you look left there, right, that's a pretty active little area right there, and we haven't seen much separation to come back to it yet. So that's definitely something that we're watching here tomorrow for all you euro traders out there. So we got a bunch of resistance levels we're watching here as well. So I'd love to see if we can get this market to go up off of this low, right? Get up off of that low. Get above that moving average, like I always mention, right? The best trades usually come right above that moving average. One try, two try, back down. See it right there, right? One try, two try, back down. They happen all over the place, right? So we're looking for them. One try, pull back to the moving average, right? Let those buyers sort of buy it here. Let them get in trouble, right? Let those buyers wrap that rope right around their neck, right? Then we know where their stops are. We can sell into those stops. We can then use that as a new low, find that new channel, and we can sell off the high of that channel as well, right? Selling off the high of that channel. That'll make that job pretty easy. So again, it's going to be a two-try failure into a hidden channel pullback. Now also, too, don't forget, we may see that two-legged pullback, and a two-legged pullback would mean it creates a trend line. If we get that trend line, now we can use that trend line. Yep, you can use that trend line as resistance. And again, oftentimes that will be a combination, right, of a two-legged pullback into a two-try failure, right? And then if we get lucky on this, right, maybe even the hidden channel pullback, right? This could easily get all three of those patterns, right? You've got that two-legged pullback, you've got that hidden channel, that two-try failure, and then of course, right, you've got your hidden channel pullback from there. So definitely keep your eyes open on that here, right? So that's definitely potential here for tomorrow. What if price goes sideways here? You know, again, tomorrow's a Friday going into the holiday weekend. Maybe not so much in the euro because it's a U.S. holiday, but of course, you know, the euro is part of the CME, so we assume most folks are at least watching the U.S. session tomorrow. So we have a potential trading range, right? What do we do then? What's the plan then? Well, I'm going to keep my eyes again on that prior swing there at 14,400. I'm trying to use that now for our one try, two try failure, right? Let those buyers try once. Let them try twice. And remember, these two-try failure patterns, they come in lots of different shapes and sizes, right? Sometimes they give us big, strong moves up, and then a small little two-try right there, right? Sometimes the opposite. Sometimes it's one and then two, right? And don't forget, we'll teach you more about the details because different two tries have different personalities, and we have slightly different ways to trade them. And you can learn a lot more about those two tries inside that free trading class, which again is linked up right below the video or in the upper right hand corner here in that information icon in the upper right hand corner. So if it's range, we want to trade those range failures, right? Two try failures. What if price keeps going lower here? What if we keep going lower? Well, we got this measured move here, 1, 2, 3. So measured move is looking pretty good. We also have, I thought we had a little, yeah, I was gonna say there's a major low back here too. Yeah, there you go. There's a major low down here. So the bottom line is, as we go lower, see major low there at 13,400. So as we go lower here, we just got to be aware that 13,400 is probably going to be our big objective here tomorrow. So as we go lower, if we do just keep kind of grinding lower, keep your eyes open real quickly here. Keep your eyes open for a possible spike in channel. Right? So if we do end up kind of grinding lower here without any real pullback, just watch that channel form, mark up those prior swings, you guessed it, right? And it's trap into two try, back down again. So we'll be looking for those sells, just not trying to sell low. That's the big thing, right? Especially when you're a new trader, be disciplined not to sell at support, sell at resistance. And I know it's not easy sometimes, but that's why being with me every day in my trade room is such a great advantage, because I'm going to make sure that you're looking at the right stuff. I'm going to make sure that you're not making a lot of these rookie mistakes that I made, right? And that's the reason why I'm a good teacher at this, because I think I've made every single mistake you can possibly make. So as we go lower, right, resist the temptation to chase after it. Don't sell at support. Find those levels of resistance and sell at those levels of resistance. And again, we're going to keep an eye on all of these trend lines, right? Because that trend line's not going anywhere, right? So maybe we get up 1, 2 and sell off that trend line. But the bottom line, though, is if we do keep rolling lower here, I want to get up off those lows, let those buyers try to reverse it, and then sell right into those stops. Now, speaking of which, right, what would a reversal look like, right? A reversal means, of course, strong move up. And for me, I think today I'm going to be looking, we've really got to get above that trend line. So I'm going to want to see us hold and go off of that trend line. Then we can find that high, find that channel. Yeah, and then we can start buying off that channel low. But I really want to get us above that trend line, because I just have a feeling that you're going to probably see it go 1, 2, 3, and then we still may see it, right, come crashing back down here. So really get above that trend line, hold that move. You'll feel it. That momentum it'll shift. You'll feel it pop off of that trend line, and that'll tell you those bears are getting out of their positions. That'll free up for the bulls. Find that high, find that new channel. Yep, you got it, right? And then we're buying that pullback, right? We're buying that pullback from there. And then, of course, the target on that is pretty easy, right? Target's back up to retest those highs up around that 15,500 area for tomorrow. So bears have the edge right now on the euro. We're trying to sell at resistance, find those levels of resistance, get above that moving average, look for those buyers to fail, look for those traps, look for those failure patterns. And again, if you're brand new here, right, I would highly encourage you, grab that free course below the video. It's also linked up in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to love that free course. Lots of great information there that'll help you make the most out of our time together. And as always, don't forget, if you have any questions about this stuff, don't forget you can always call toll free. I have live support on the homepage of our website. We have one of the best free trials in the business. If you want to get a free pass, come out and join me as a guest in our trade room. Definitely take me up on that offer as part of that free trial. You can learn more on our website. And of course, we've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. If you're brand new, our beginner course is a great foundation to start with. If you're an experienced trader and you want a great strategy with a great trade room to help you maintain that discipline to follow your rules every day, you're going to love our advanced packages as well. We've got great in-house payment options right now. Lots of flexible ways to get started as we go into the end of the year. Don't be afraid to call, email, or use Skype. Live support is always on for you guys as well. And in the meantime, enjoy the evening, but get ready for tomorrow. Again, early in, early out tomorrow morning. Don't forget, Monday is that holiday, right? Kind of that half holiday. And as always, if you have any questions, drop those questions in the comment section below or shoot me an email right here at jj@schooloftrade.com. As always, my name is Joseph. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Great job this week. Now get out of here. Get some rest. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.